Hi everyone, this is Stacy Reynolds, and in this video we'll be discussing how to identify co-authors for your manuscript. Now ideally, co-authors and authorship order are determined before you begin writing a manuscript. So if you know you'll be writing your project up for publication, you should be thinking about who your co-authors might be from the very beginning. So you may be wondering, how do I know if somebody should be a co-author? Thankfully, we have these authorship criteria from the International Committee of Medical Journal Editors, or ICMJE. Per these criteria, authorship is based on the following. First, the individual provided substantial contributions to the conception or design of the work, or the acquisition, analysis, or interpretation of the data, and they drafted the work or reviewed it critically for important intellectual content, and they approve the final version of the manuscript to be published, and they agree to be accountable for all aspects of the work. So to be a co-author, someone needs to contribute substantially to the project in these ways. In addition to identifying who should be co-authors, you must also determine the authorship order. It's recommended to discuss authorship order with your faculty chair or a mentor. In general, for student-led projects, the student is listed as the first author. It's important to note that being a committee member of a student-led project does not automatically confer authorship. Committee members are often invited to be a co-author, but they must meet authorship criteria. Those serving in the mentor role may be listed as either second or last author to indicate their role as a mentor. For other authors, you may consider ordering them based on how much they contributed to the project. Or if all co-authors essentially contributed the same amount, you may consider simply listing them alphabetically. I do recognize that identifying authors and authorship order can be a little uncomfortable or a sensitive topic for some. Again, you're encouraged to discuss the approach with your faculty chair or a mentor. I'll share one approach, which is to email potential authors outlining authorship criteria and asking them if they are willing to contribute. Here's an example email. First, you can state, I'm planning on writing this project as a manuscript for publication. As you're involved in the project, I invite you to be co-authors. Here's the list of authorship criteria per the ICMJE. Let me know if you agree to participate in this way and meet authorship criteria. You can also provide an alternative by stating something like, if you don't feel like you meet authorship criteria, or you're not willing to meet these criteria, let me know if I can include your contributions in an acknowledgement. It's also helpful to state upfront the order of authorship that you're considering, so this is transparent from the beginning. As noted on the prior slide, people who are involved in the project but don't meet authorship criteria can be included in an acknowledgement. In the manuscript, this may read something like, the authors wish to acknowledge John Jackson and Mary Jones for their assistance with the project. Prior to listing someone in an acknowledgement, you must receive permission from them, and some journals may even require them to complete a form stating that the authors have permission to acknowledge them. Once co-authors are identified, discuss how the manuscript will be drafted. One approach is for the first author to draft the entire manuscript and send it out to the other co-authors for their review. This is the approach taken often for student-led projects. The student will draft the entire manuscript with help from their faculty mentor and then send the draft to the other co-authors for their review. Another approach, if you're working with a small group of co-authors, may be that each author is assigned a section to write. Whichever approach is used should be communicated with the co-authors. Lastly, you must also identify who the corresponding author will be, and it's important to note that only one person serves in this role. For student-led projects, this may be either the student or the faculty mentor. For non-student projects, the corresponding author is generally the project leader. This person is the primary point of contact for the journal and the readers, and manages the pre- and post-publication responsibilities of a manuscript. Responsibilities include things like uploading all documents to the online submission platform, communicating with the co-authors regarding reviewer feedback, answering editor queries, ensuring all co-authors have completed any necessary forms, and reviewing article proofs, among other responsibilities. So discuss with your faculty or mentor who the best person would be to serve as the corresponding author. To recap this video, we discussed how to identify co-authors using authorship criteria from the ICMJE, determine authorship order and responsibilities of the co-authors, as well as the role of the corresponding author. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.